Alright, g'day guys, another video. Just working through at the moment CHT and EGTs. Give you a quick look at that. So a bit of a mess, wires hanging everywhere, but got them installed and into the RDAC. Had to drop the temperatures on the RDAC down to lowest display above 10 degrees as opposed to 40 or 80 or something. Just to get the bar graph to work. Got all that wired up. Just going to check whether I have to just wrap this up or whether I can cut that to length. That's where we're at the moment with CHT and EGTs all working. Alright, just popped the cowl apart for the second time. I did my camel snot trick in here, got a good anchor nut, built this area up and got this angle correct. It's got a nice little flange there now. The tape released nicely. I got that off a little known builder in America. The guy's name's Mike Patey. So yeah, cow's popped apart. Now we'll clean this up, refit it, look at the exhaust and cut out for the oil cooler. Going well. Top cow looking good. I bogged up this front edge. That's rock hard, you could drill and tap that. So I intentionally made it undersized so that I can now put it with some bit more forgiving filler that's easier to sand. So I'll attack this with the file in situ when it's bolted on the aircraft. And it's come up well. And work on an oil cooler door. Okay, time for the wings to come off again. So once again I'm shortening the stands. So 1750 on the stands, that's what I've worked out, just so they'll go back under here. I want to pull this apart. I'm learning pretty quick that if you don't paint the aeroplane, I'd probably be doing circuits by now, but that's alright. End product will be fantastic. So, got to pull it apart. I want to take these struts off. I want to get the struts off to make them, I'm going to take or polish the male portion. So I'll leave the strut, the female, and because when it's all painted, I'm not going to paint that area, not in the slots anyway. I want it to sort of go together. I want it to go together rather effortlessly while people are holding it up and it's all freshly painted. At the moment, I've got to literally bash them on with a hammer, Compophane hammer. So they're way too tight. It was okay initially, and I think I mentioned before cutting the strut to length, that was why it was all jigged up. Obviously now you can lift the wing to put the strut in and drop the wing down, but I wanted to sort of slide in so I can get the bolt in without being too loose. So we'll work on that. So wings are coming off. I'm going to I did some rough cuts around the root, and for the forward wing bolt, I've elongated that hole a little bit, get the wing off, clean that up nicely, do the banana slot. The sunroof as well, up on the sunroof, I've marked that with tape so that when I pull all this off, I'll be able to trim. I'm not sure, I'll see how close that tape is to the root rib that's on top of the cage. I may just trim it so it's flush with that, because it's sort of got it curves to follow the wing. We'll see how we go. Going well. Alright, flaps off, stabs off. Could say something else. Wait for some guys to come maybe tomorrow at the club day. We'll get the wings off and set up a tent and start painting this sucker. Okay, well that's pretty stressful. Once again, got the pulled the wings off, grabbed 4 blokes, knocked the bolts out. Pretty relatively easy, I guess, but a bit nerve-wracking taking the wings back off. I'm just going to play now with the wing strut attachment down here. I'm going to polish this end up just so it slides on easy at final assembly, and I'll make sure I don't prime and paint over it as well. And same as the gear weldment down there. I'm actually going to take the struts back apart and just work with the stubby piece at the end. Obviously mark that as to which way it goes back on. But I just want that stubby piece just to sort of have a bit of a nip, but just slide on nicely. At the moment, slides on nicely with this fella. So I'll just clean that up and we'll have it sweet. Alright, so with the wings off, I've just cleaned up the wing root skin. It's harder than you think actually getting that all straight. Cleaned up the holes, cleaned up the hole through the spar, drilled my rear spar out to 3/8 with my edge distance, cleaned up the trailing edge. Now I've just pulled the strut apart. I've just polished up this surface just so that these now slide on relatively easy. Make wing installation a lot easier in the future. That's pretty much the wings for now. Alright, another little job. Trimmed the windows. They're a bit wide to fit in between the pillars, if you like, and the channel here for the controls. So trim those, got those in, keep the swarf out, and also I'll come back out, get it ready for painting, put them back in as a mask for painting. Cleaned up the banana slot and put in my grommets that'll fit inside the trailing edge skin. 2 on that side, sorry, 3 on this side, 2 on the other side. So moving along well, it all counts. I removed the ends of the struts, took those apart again, polished up the fitting so the strut slides on relatively nicely. Still maintains it's fairly tight, and retorqued the bolts. Obviously mark those before you pull them out and put them back in again. Going well. Build the tent.
Oh. What do we do now, Dave?
So I had a fiddle on the plane back to the paint booth. Got some filters and some extension leads, power boards. We'll wire it up, hook it up. What I did find, if you're going to build a paint booth, this is a in the paint section at the hardware shop at Bunnings, zip door. So yeah, see how that turns out. I'll put a door in it. Okay, spray booth coming together. Got my lights in, LED lights. Just taping it up. Just got $2 duct tape from the cheap shop, and don't skimp on the duct tape on the outside. I half expect to come back next shift and find this all lifted off, but we'll see how we go. Might have to get some material tape, like gaffer tape or whatever you call it, as opposed to duct tape, but you get the idea. Looking good. That's 6 metres by 3 metres. Alright guys, so there we go. Just got to fold the floor up now around my paint booth. Got the lights on, I'll show you that in a minute. Lights up, adequate I guess. So end of the day, you just got to work out what I'm trying to achieve here, and I guess it's just it's going to be better than painting it outside, and I don't want overspray to go everywhere. However, with the new system, I don't think I've got a great deal of overspray. So come in this morning, and as I thought, stretching the duct tape out, you've got to try, it's really a 2-person job. I need something on the inside to push the tape down against. And if you stretch the tape, obviously overnight, the tape's reverted back to its original length, so it lifts off in spots. Probably going to be an ongoing issue, just maintaining the tape. Do I want an airtight area? Not necessarily, it's got to breathe a little bit. If I do open the door up, actually, not open the door's actually, where is it? The door's actually out of this porous material, so I did buy some aircon filters, just cheap ones, that I was going to use for the inlet side, but I think I'll turn the fan on a bit later today. I think it'll just breathe through the door. If there's not enough air, or too much, I can close the flap on the inside to make it vinyl or whatever that stuff is, plastic, cover it in plastic, or I can still install these. I might put one of these over the fan that's on the floor. I'll show you that as well. But yeah, we'll see how this turns out. And just going through, reading up on my spray gun, what needles to use and that sort of thing. My spray paint, the MSDS picking out colours on my own custom colour scheme that I've designed myself. So the orange and white Fanta can of the Royal Australian Air Force. It's a bit hard trying to pick out colours, but that's where that's at the moment. Okay, with the door closed, one spray booth. The fan's running. You can see I've got just a slight negative pressure, which is perfect, I think anyway. So having not done much spray painting, I'm pretty happy with this so far. It's just a matter of how long the duct tape's going to last. I think this will be an ongoing project to keep it together. You see how if you stretch the duct tape, spare the duct tape, spoil the job, as they say. Oh, you like my shirt? Yeah. So I just have to keep an eye on all these joins. It's because I stretch the tape getting it off the roll, and then it obviously reverts back to what it was. But really happy with that. I can close this plastic flap. Made some little. So I can do partial air or something like that. Doing that I can see the walls just suck in a bit further. So, one spray booth. Let's hook up the spray thing. I'm going to have a practice with water-based paints and we'll make a mess. Alright, that was a success, I think. About 20 minutes of practicing, just spraying cardboard and whatever's laying around. Went as far as intentionally got some runs, like went stupid on the volume. But yeah, got control of it. What I did learn was need to thin the material right down. I tried the 1mm bit. Anyway, it's getting very specific. What I did find, which is interesting, it's got Apollo sprayers sort of engraved here, and I've got a sore thumb already, so I'm going to file this off or wrap it in tape or something to make that comfortable, and I think that'll wear through a glove pretty quick. So the branding, yeah, it's got a real sharp edge on it, which sort of gives me, poor darling, but it gives me a callus on my thumb. So also set up my cleaning spot, if you like. So with the water, gone through with the water, which is nice and safe before I get into the heavy chemicals, acetone, etc. A cleaning kit, little bowl to wash up, you know, nice mat, la-di-da, and just getting used to pulling apart and reassembling the gun. I'd like to think that I'd, you know, just go back to your settings, but I think I have to get into the habit of testing, adjust, and then spray the job. So there we go. That is the paint the turbine and the tent. Alright guys, that's a wrap up of my spray booth and getting ready to paint. So, I'm not sure if there's a lot of info in that movie, but it's all, you know, towards getting the Cruzer ready. I'm not sure now whether I'm going to prime everything or I need to go down and work out how I'm going to make some stands. I think what I'll do is hang up as much as I can without being ridiculous in there. So all the flaperons, maybe the rudder and the fin, prime all those while they're hanging up if I build some frames. Then hit them with the colour, then they're basically done. Pull them out, you know, let them cure 24 hours I think it is, proper cure time, touch dry over a week for a full cure. And we'll go from there. So it's going to be interesting. Come along for the ride. One thing I will say though, like doing these videos does take a lot of time. It's also my build log, I guess, so evidence that I've built the plane, trying to do everything myself. Cruzer's going really well. No replacement parts, touch wood. Straight off the plan, stock standard, try and keep it simple. Build to your own standards, but make sure it's safe. Hope you enjoyed that one. Next time, we'll get into some spray painting. Cruzer's moving along well. Thanks for watching.